Today we are going to be rebuilding the Chicago Bulls after they got the 4th overall pick, and we never even did an offseason rebuild on them to begin with. The Chicago Bulls have also moved on from Billy Donovan, and they have a new GM now. Should be a whole new era for the Chicago Bulls. But before we get into today's video, YouTube does tell me about 55% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall in that 55%, want to change that, as we're on the road to 50K, that'd be greatly appreciated. So obviously one thing about the Chicago Bulls as of late, they've been kind of stuck in purgatory. It feels like they haven't really gotten lucky in the lottery for the most part. They also had the 4th pick years ago. They drafted Patrick Williams with it. Now they're in the exact same spot. They have the 4th pick, and they're going to have the opportunity to potentially draft Caleb Wilson or whatever they want to do here. So they also have a new coach coming, whoever it may be. New GM is in town as well. So it is a whole new era for Chicago. And I know Bulls fans probably feel somewhat optimistic about the future because, man, they need a new chapter really badly here. There's a couple pieces to be excited about here, obviously with Giddey, Buzelis, and then you still don't know what you have in Noah Sengay, apparently, or interestingly enough as well. I don't even think he played much his rookie season, so should be a very interesting offseason for Chicago. So we all have to start with staff signing. So I'm also using 2 other teams right now because some of the candidates that the Bulls are talking to right now, I've grabbed 2 here. So let's see. Oh, we want to do that. Chicago Bulls are asking. Okay, this is what I wanted to use the other teams for permission. Because every time you try to talk to a team's assistant coach, it gets blocked, which is kind of dumb because in real life, obviously, I think you can like get promoted. I mean, maybe a team can block. I don't know. Regardless. So here's the team, or here's like the 3 candidates I've heard. There's some other ones, of course, as well. So Chris Quinn, I know there's Sean Sweeney who's been floating around there as well. But Chris Quinn, Jerry Stackhouse, Wes Unseld, I think are being considered. So I think I'm going to sign Chris Quinn, though, to be the coach of the Chicago Bulls. Which we obviously need to, decline some of these. But yeah, Chris Quinn is going to be the coach of Chicago. So that's what I wanted to do because he's the most recent name I saw. But it could be Sweeney, it could be somebody else. But yeah, that is what we wanted to do there. So we have a new coach. He may not be the real coach. And by the time watching this, maybe the Bulls found the real life head coach. And my apologies if they did. But let's go to draft night. We have that 4th overall pick. And as you guys have seen lately when we've done rebuilds, like the team, and we have the 15th pick, not to finish as well, but the team always takes Isaiah Evans at 4, which I don't understand. We'll see what falls to us. Obviously, it should be Caleb Wilson that falls into our laps, but we'll see if a team decides to do something different because it is possible something like that happens. But we also have a couple second rounders at 8 and 26. So let's jump in and draft. Let's see if the order is going to go the way we think it should. So number 1 is we Boozer. So as long as the top 3 go the way it's supposed to, I guess it doesn't really matter what order. Peterson should go here, and then that would assume, DeBonza goes to Memphis, and exactly what has happened has went down. So that leaves us with taking like Darius Acuff or Caleb Wilson, which obviously, as you guys know, I will absolutely be taking Caleb Wilson with the 4th overall pick. But as I mentioned, we also have the 15th pick from the Blazers, from the Larry Nance Jr. trade from a long time ago. That's finally conveyed. So we have Ade Mara on the board here, which I am maybe going to take him. Yaxel could be interesting as well. Elijah Renos, who I don't even think is in this draft class anymore, so he's sitting here. But yeah, I think I'm going to take Ade Mara here with pick 15 out of Michigan. So we're going to take him, and then we have an early 2nd that we're going to try to find something good here with as well. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take Flory here out of Kansas. Okay, so that'll be it for me. We could 2-way probably both our second rounders, or at least one of them. So we'll 2-way solo ball. And then Flory's a 69 overall, 74, and a 78. So not a bad start, in my opinion, to this rebuild. So happy with how we've started. And it goes without saying that, yes, I'm going to accept Mataz Buzelis team option. I'm also going to accept Dillingham's as well. And I'm going to accept Leonard Miller's as well. And then qualifying offers, we have a few guys that are all 2-way guys. So that's fine. We couldn't even keep solo ball in the 2-way contract because 2K is weird like that. But Sexton and Simons, I'm going to let both walk. Zach Collins and Nick Richards could also go as well. Here's what the roster looks like after everything's all said and done. So we have Josh Giddey, Trey Jones, and Dillingham at point guard. Obviously, we had a big logjam at the shooting guard spot, but we need to find a new shooting guard, or at the guard spot in general. Need a new shooting guard now, though. Isaac Coro at the 3. We have a bunch of guys listed at the 4. Obviously, we're going to swap some guys around, so that'll be fixed in a second. Then we have Jalen Smith and Ade Mara. I mean, Ade Mara is going to have a chance to start right away, basically, which is why we drafted him. So he's going to start over Jalen Smith, and then we're going to move some guys to the 3, and we need to bring in a shooting guard. I don't know if we have cap space. I guess we technically do. So, yeah, in theory, we could go give Austin Reeves a contract to bring him to Chicago, but I probably won't do that. So we do have all of our draft picks, right? I'm pretty sure Chicago does. So we do have our 27 first, which is good because I do think that tanking could be a big part of turning this team around still. So if we could just sign a decent shooting guard to get us by, I think that'd be fine with me. So I can give like Quentin Grimes a deal, or Not Jaden Ivey, obviously. They released him already after they traded for him. So I'm going to throw Quentin Grimes a deal. I think he'd actually be a decent fit. So I'm going to give him a 4-year, $12.5 million deal. Later on down the contract, he might be a tradable asset for us. So welcome to Chicago, Quentin Grimes. And I'm going to slide some of these guys to 3. And we'll go look at player progression after that. So here's what player progression is looking like. So we moved Buzelis up to small forward, and he's up to an 85 overall. So no other jump, just in the position change, but Giddey's up to an 84. Leonard Miller moved him as well. He's up to a 78. Patrick Williams is up 2 overall. Rob Dillingham's up to a 4 overall. Noah Sengay is up to a 74. And then you got Olbrich down here as well, which is not too bad, up to a 72. So we're probably still going to be a bad team next year, to be completely honest with you. I really don't expect this team to make the playoffs in year number 1. But there are some young, intriguing, exciting players here, which is the biggest thing to come out of this. So if we can get like Caleb Wilson on all rookie team, we get Buzelis scoring quite a bit, taking a bigger role, I think that's a big accomplishment in itself. So I think we do need another year of tanking to add another good player in the 27 class, and then you can really talk about something interesting here in Chicago. But Power Rank right now has us at 29th, so as expected, we're probably not going to be very good this year. In fact, is Giddey hurt? No, they just have him come off the bench right now. That's kind of bizarre. But so Giddey is going to come off the bench apparently, which obviously we're going to fix that. But I don't know why 2K is like, oh, yeah, this is a bounce proficiency, right? And they're literally thinking about, okay, I don't get it, but we're going to fix that, obviously. So Giddey is going to start. He's the highest paid player on this team, I believe. So there's no reason for him not to start. So we just got to move Trey Jones to being a non-starter, which is just such a weird suggestion by 2K. But yeah, that'll be fixed. So we'll do that. That'll fix that problem. So now you have Josh Giddey, Quentin Grimes, Buzelis. They want to start Patrick Williams, and I'm at another spot where, yeah, Patrick Williams, I mean, that ship has sailed. He is just not going to be a player that, is going to turn into anything special, I would imagine. So we're going to put non-starter on him for a long time on this role. So Caleb Wilson is going to start, which is what I wanted. So Giddey, Grimes, Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, Ademar at the center spot, Trey Jones, Jalen Smith, Leonard Miller, Okoro, and Patrick Williams. So that leaves Dillingham and a Sengay out of the rotation, which I hate. I don't love that. In fact, if we could find a way to get rid of Okoro and Patrick Williams at the trade deadline and get those two involved, that would be my ideal goal, because I do want a Sengay to play quite a bit this year. So yeah, for now, this is what we're stuck with. I guess we could run 11 deep. It really isn't going to hurt anything for now. So that gets Dillingham in here. So we just need to find a way to trade away Okoro at the deadline and free up that spot for Sengay to play. And then other than that, the only thing I wanted to look at was shot tendencies for this season. If I can get there correctly. Holy moly. Okay. Shot tendencies. And by the way, my allergies are really killing me today, so I apologize if I sound like crap right now. But I'm going to move Caleb Wilson's shot tendency decent up to a decent spot in his rookie season. And then I want Buzelis to take a big jump today as well. So we're going to give him like an 80 shot tendency with a 74 touch tendency, something like that. So I'll see you guys as the end of the season. My expectations are pretty low for the season. If we tank again, I think that's fine. But let's see how the season goes. Maybe I'm impressed and surprised, but more than likely, we're probably going to struggle if I had to guess. As you can see, we're off to a pretty rough start. But you'll probably see me at the trade deadline trying to sell some pieces off here, because I do want to get, like I said, a Sengay in the rotation. So we are at the trade deadline, and honestly, there's really no need to even show this trade, but obviously I'm essentially doing this just to free up minutes for a Sengay. So Okoro's going to be headed out of here. If I can squeeze a second out of them as well, I'd be happy, and instead we'll swap seconds. So yeah, this trade pretty much accomplishes nothing other than a Sengay is going to play now. Basically, all I wanted to do here. So Sengay is actually still out of the rotation right now, funny enough. So, wow. Okay, so we still need to fix that. So who do they have in there instead? Oh, they have Kyle Anderson starting right now. That's why I was like, what the hell happened? So Kyle Anderson, no, I don't need you to play at all. I'm sorry. In fact, where are you at? How much money are you making again? He's all the way down here to 72 overall. So he's making $9 million, so I can't release him. But yeah, we're going to absolutely make sure he is not starting. That's not going to happen. That is not what I traded for you for. I don't know why 2K is suggesting all these weird starts right now, but that should put Sengay in the rotation like I wanted. It's only 7 minutes a night, so I would like to free up more minutes, but Patrick Williams' contract is so bad, I really don't think there's going to be an easy way to do that. The only thing I could think to do is just basically swap these guys' minutes. In fact, we can actually maybe even just put Patrick Williams on the rotation entirely right now, just for the rest of the year, where, a Sengay gets in there instead of Patrick Williams, basically. So something like that, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the season. We are really bad, like I thought we would be, kind of as I expected. So I will see you guys at the end of the season, 16-34. If we keep it up, obviously we'll be a lottery team, and we'll see what we'll be picking in this offseason. So as expected, this year went extremely south. We were not expecting to be a playoff team or anything close to that, but here Israel will be first team. If we could just get like any kind of like representatives here on any of these teams, that'd be ideal. So all rookie first, we do get Caleb Wilson on here. I'm hoping to see a Damara, and we do on all rookie second team. So both the rookies we drafted do make all rookie teams, which is good. But as I said, we didn't even sniff the playoffs. We finished up as a 14 seed, I believe. Yeah, or no, 15, 23 and 59. So yeah, very bad stuff here. But you had 22 points from Mataz Bazelis, 17 from Giddey with 7 rebounds and 7 assists, 15 from Caleb Wilson, 11 from Jalen Smith, and then 9 from Adeyemara, 9 from Rob Dillingham, and 9 from Leonard Miller. So not anything crazy here to look at, but let's go ahead and celebrate the playoffs. Who goes on to win the championship, and obviously we'll have another interesting lottery ahead of us. The Knicks and the Thunder, which is probably our finals matchup in our life as well, coming up. And the Knicks are going to beat them in 4 games, apparently. So that's interesting. So here we are in the lottery, and obviously this is going to be very important because we have the #1 best odds. Now, the lottery is expected to change on the odds and all that, but that would be impossible to replicate in 2K, so we're stuck with what we have. So 14% chance, obviously tied with the other 2 teams, Brooklyn and Sacramento, which, funny enough, those are the 2 teams that really lost on lottery night that are here again. And in fact, Rockets have their pick now, so that's very unfortunate for the Nets. But fingers crossed, we at least stay in the top 3. Let's see what happens. And as expected, we fall to 5. So we fall to pick 5. Jazz get 1, Heat number 2, Nuggets 3, Thunder. The Clippers get the 4th pick. That's scary. Okay, and then we have the 5th pick. Well, I still think we could walk away with something good here, but obviously very disappointing to say the least. But we are going to add a top 5 draft pick, so I can't be mad at it. So we have Bruce Branch, Stokes. We're just going to see what falls to us at the end of the day. I think any of these guys we draft will be just fine. So, yeah, I guess we'll just take whoever's left for us at pick 5. So let's jump in, see how it goes. So number 1 is going to be Stokes to Utah. Miami is going to take Hugo. Denver is going to take Cameron Williams. So is Jokic going to leave them then? I guess I would assume. And then Bruce is going to OKC. I definitely would have taken him if he would have fallen to us. So we have Stephon, we have McCoy, we have Braylon Mullins, we have Caleb Holt, Christian Collins. So I did take Stephon in the last video, so I really don't want to take him today, although it does feel like he should be the pick. But as I said, I took him in the last video, so in the Atlanta video, so I'm not going to take him here. Taj Riza, so I'm really leaning between Braylon Mullins or Caleb Holt. So which one would I rather have? I think I'm going to take Braylon Mullins here, funny enough. Obviously, the Hornets took Conkin Dimple, and it's really worked out for them. So obviously playing, he didn't play extremely great, but Braylon Mullins out of UConn is who we're going to take here. And then here we go with a early 2nd rounder. We have, or maybe this is a late 2nd rounder, but I'm going to take another big, or it's a late 2nd rounder, I should say. Okay, so welcome, might two-way him, but we'll walk away with a 76 overall. I definitely was tempted to take Caleb Holt as well. Stephon would have been nice as well, but as I said, happened in the last video. So yeah, we'll take this. And then player options. Trey Jones, I think I'm going to decline because I think Rob Dillingham is going to develop into something nice for us. And I'm going to accept Flory here. But qualifying offers, Zion Poland, not worried about any of those, either of those 2. And then Jokic is sitting in free agency. Should I follow the Bulls path where they always sign Jokic in free agency in 2K? I'm not going to do that, obviously. But Giddey, Dillingham, Braylon Mullins, and Grimes. We have Mataz Bazelis, Caleb Wilson, Patrick Williams, Noah Singay, and then Adeyemara. And then obviously you really don't have another center right now. But we could definitely move one of Patrick Williams or Singay over to the 3. So I think I'm going to move a Singay over there because he might go up if we do. And he does. So yeah, that's probably the best way to go about that. So Leonard Miller is probably not, really needed to be re-signed anymore. So the only thing I could really see that, hey, we need is a center, which we do have cap space to sign like a Trae Young or something like that, which I'm not going to do. But I definitely am tempted to grab a center such as Lively or Moussa Diabate, or there's Neemias Queta at the top who has no offers. So I'm going to go for him. Why not? So that's going to give us kind of a similar deal to what we gave Quentin Grimes earlier. So we'll go with that. And a lot of this is just going to develop, or is just going to be, leaning on the young guys to develop. So I'm going to renounce the rest of these guys, though. Neemias is going to be the only way we walk away with. So again, it's going to be the patient approach. We're going to continue to be probably a really bad team, but the good thing is we do have development starting. So Bazelis up to an 86. Giddey up to an 85. Caleb Wilson's up to an 83 already, which is a great sign. Dillingham is up to an 82 as well. Sengay is up. Adeyemara is up. So, and then Flory is even up as well down here. So 4 overall jumps. So quite a bit of jumps here, which is what we need to become a good team eventually. So we are pretty much relying on completely building through the draft thus far, which I'm totally fine with. So we have a full rotation basically of all of our draft picks other than Josh Giddey, which was a trade obviously. But yeah, I'm feeling good about what we have. We just have to be patient, allow these guys to become basketball player or NBA players. So Prank, once again, is pretty low on us, which is not really too surprising, but here is what your rotation is going to look like. So they actually want to start Rob Dillingham over Josh Giddey. I don't know if I can get there. We might change that, and then Ade Mara is going to come off the bench, which is fine, I guess. And then that leaves Braylon Mullins on the rotation entirely, which I obviously don't love that. In fact, we could probably just release Trey Mann, so that's not a problem, because I want Braylon Mullins to play. So we can release Trey Mann, and then that should get Braylon Mullins back in the rotation like I want it. So Braylon Mullins is going to play. So here is what you're looking at. But other than, I'm going to fix Josh Giddey and Dillingham and swap those two. And then shot tendencies. Buzelis had a good year last year. He's at 85. And then Caleb Wilson's, is going up a little bit as well. And Ade Mara actually has a high shot tendency as well. I might bring that down. I don't need him to be that crazy. So something like that looks good to me. Expecting bad things again here, but that's okay. We have a nice group of young players to feel good about. Just need to let them develop, and eventually everything's going to come the way we want it to. So they probably signed Trey Mann right back. They did. That's funny. Okay, so I guess the thing to do with that is just move Trey Mann to, like, I don't know, some position that'll make him worse, I guess. So Trey Mann, you're at point guard. Shooting guard to make you better. We'll just move you to power forward so you don't take over Mullen's spot. All right, I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Would love to see us make a play and run this year. I don't think it's going to happen, but, so far, maybe we could, based off how the season's going. So Victor Wembanyama is going to win the MVP. Cameron Williams is your Rookie of the Year. Cameron Williams is your sixth man as well. So I guess Jokic stayed in Denver, and Depoy goes to Wembanyama. DeBonds is your most improved, and Edwards is your clutch player. Mark Daigneault's your Coach of the Year, and John Murphy is your executive, and SGA is your Cup MVP. And here is your All-NBA first team. So I don't imagine we have anybody on here, but all rookie team would be nice to see Braylon Mullins on there, obviously. So he is on our rookie first team, which is fantastic to see. Love that. 9 points per game on good efficiency from 3 already, which you would expect. And yeah, so we end up, I believe, as the 10th seed in the... Oh, wait, never mind. I guess not. So, wait, I could have swore I looked and we secured a play-in spot. What? It's... Okay. All right, yeah, so I'm an 11th seed, but I'm a play-in team. Okay, so we would have been a play-in team, but I guess not. I guess Toronto Raptors had the tiebreaker over us. But yeah, I was literally towards the end of the season, I looked at it. I'm like, oh, we secured a play-in spot. That's awesome. But no, I guess not. So I don't know why I said I was in the play-in and then I'm not. But all right, whatever. So let's look at the player stats to see what it looked like. So Buzelis played all 82, averaged 22 points per game. Caleb Wilson with 21 and 8. Giddey was 17, 7 and 8 as well. Rob Dillingham was 16 and 12 from Ade Mara. And then as far as the shooting percentages go, Buzelis is shooting 39% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. You'll definitely take that. Giddey with 36%. So yeah, very happy with what we're seeing, and the development has been paying off. But would have loved to see some playoff basketball. Obviously, the Bulls have been in the play-in, but this would have been different. The Thunder and the Knicks again, but the Thunder sweep them this time. So yeah, back-to-back Thunder Knicks finals. Interesting. I guess the good thing is, since we didn't make the lottery or make the play-in, we're in the lottery again, which, yeah, I guess. We have a 2% chance. It would be funny if we jumped up, but I doubt it. So we're going to have 12th pick, but still going to add another rotational piece through the lottery. We've not really had the luxury of having number 1, 2, or 3, but we've had lottery picks to, add rotational pieces, and we've done that. Caleb Wilson, Buzelis. Obviously, I didn't do that, but, the Bulls did that in real life. Caleb Wilson, Buzelis. Recently, also... Gosh, I'm missing Braylon Mullins. It's like I was blanking on who it was. But yeah, so I fell in there today, Mara, not to mention well, which was an outside lottery pick. But let's go to draft night, and we'll keep Chris Quinn still as the head coach for now, since he did get us very close to making the plan. Felt good about our run. 12th overall pick. I guess we'll just kind of see what falls to us. So at pick 12, don't really have a plan going in, but here's what's left on the board for us. We have Adonis Ratliff, Chris Washington Jr., which I'm definitely intrigued by, Scola, Lewis. I think I might take Chris Washington Jr. here, though, because we don't really have a long-term backup 4, I believe, because Patrick Williams is here. But obviously, as soon as Patrick Williams is able to be, gotten rid of, I'm going to do that. So, yeah, we find our new guy with Chris Washington Jr. Going to be someone who develops in the background, not going to play right away. But Ade Mara, and of course, Patrick Williams accepts the last year of his deal. The good thing about this is, obviously, his contract is easily tradable now. So if we wanted to make like a crazy all-in trade, which I don't plan to do necessarily, but we could. So Buzelis and Dillingham, I'm going to keep both of them, obviously. So we're going to resign both of them. Dillingham's not asking for too much money. I'm going to give him 13.5 a year. And then Buzelis, who's been really good, I'm going to give him a 5-year deal for what he's asking for as well. The Kings are trying to steal him away. I will not allow that to go down. So we'll get both of them back. And then we do have money to sign a free agent, but if there was one position I would upgrade right now, what would it be? So Josh Giddey's on the last year of his deal at the point guard spot. I can't really be mad at what he's brought to us, though. He's been actually pretty good, so I really can't say anything bad about him. I really don't know what to expect out of Braylon Mullen's development. It would be cool if he jumped up quite a bit, but I really don't know if we can bank on that. So I guess if there was one position that I'm looking at saying, ooh, center is also, a spot to look at. I don't know how much a Daymar is going to jump up. So I guess the biggest thing for us is probably just go look at player progression and base it off that, because we do have guys that I feel comfortable trading away if needed. So let's just see what progression looks like. We kind of decide what position needs the most addressing. So Braylon Mullen's already up to an 80 overall, so that's a nice jump. But a Daymara, so I do think it's center, which it always is center for me, it feels like. Dillingham's up to 83. Giddey is down to an 83, so that's kind of unfortunate and interesting. But Wilson and Buzelis being our best players as the forwards is fine with me. But I would like to get them a legitimate 5 to feel good about going forward, because I don't think I can trust a Daymar to become a 85 overall starter or anything like that. So I think it's in our best interest to try to upgrade that spot so we can make a playoff run next year. So let's go see if there's someone available that can make some sense to add to the Chicago Bulls team. So I'm seeing if I can talk to the Clippers about Chris Sanock Jr. out of Houston, who could be potentially our new starting center going forward. So I'm offering Nemius to start things off. Our pick should be valuable. It's a 2-star valued pick, so I think we can maybe pull something off here with them. And then we throw this guy in here. What do they say to this trade? They say no to that. If I throw some seconds on the table to make it an even better offer, how many seconds does it take? None of them go through. Okay, fair enough. So they don't accept this, but I'm willing to pay even further. So Chris Washington, I would hate to throw him here. Do you want Patch Williams' contract? No, they do not. That makes sense. What about Grimes? You want him? Okay, Grimes can be thrown in here. This is quite a bit to give up, but I'm very comfortable with doing it because I think we'd be fine. We get our new center, and they should. Wow, they don't accept that either. We might have to wait till the deadline to pull this trade off. Damn, okay, you know what? We'll revisit this at the deadline. If they're bad, we'll definitely talk to them again. But that was quite a bit of a haul to trade for them, or trade to them, and they said no to that. Fair enough, but that's okay. We're going to try to revisit that idea later on. We'll just go in this season for now with what we have, and then at the trade deadline, you'll more than likely see me try to trade for a center, because I think Dillingham and Giddey are fine at point guard. In fact, it would not shock me at all if Giddey was willing to talk extension right now. I do think he deserves one based off how he's played. He's been a good role player with, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, putting in double digits in the basket. So yeah, power rank has us pretty low still, which I'm a little surprised by because we did have a nice season last year. But if we look at extensions, Josh Giddey is one to talk one, and he wants 15 million a year. I actually don't think that's too bad, so I'm going to give him that. And then Quentin Grimes is down here, but more than likely we're going to trade him away, and Patch Williams, not to mention. But okay, so power rank has us low, which is a little disappointing, but you have Rob Dillingham, Grimes, Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, Nemius, Josh Giddey, Mullins. So they still have Josh Giddey come off the bench, interestingly enough. But I'm going to, again, swap that because I do think it's probably better that way. But both of them same overall, so whatever. But okay, power rank pretty low, but proficiency's up to a 3.5. We're going to get to the trade deadline and hopefully have the ability to upgrade our center position. Going to try to go talk to the Clippers again about Chris, see what they say to that. But as you can see so far, we're off to a pretty good start. So hopefully we can keep that up and we can make a big trade at the deadline. Exactly the team we wanted to talk to is indeed selling at the trade deadline. I technically could go look at some other guys, but I think Chris is having a good season, and I'm going to try to bring him in here. So we're going to go ahead and offer this again. Now, obviously, our pick won't be as valued right now because we're actually playing pretty well. If I offer this straight up, they say no to that. It might be actually hard to pull this off now. Chris Washington actually has some trade value, but don't really want to do that if I don't need to. So Nemius Kita, our first round pick, and then let's say that's 29 first rounder. And then 2031, do we get that steep for Chris? I mean, he's going to be a good center going forward, and they're selling. So I do think some seconds probably gets this done, I assume. Quite a bit of draft picks. They say no to that still. Okay. Can I throw a minimum player in here to maybe make the difference? Like, does Kolek change anything? It does not. So we may not be able to go for Chris. So we've tried twice now, and it doesn't work out. So I guess we'll just turn our attention to somebody else instead. So I've instead looked at the trade finder, and this is what has popped up, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. So we are trading quite a bit of draft capital here to pull this off, but getting Sensabaugh as a throw-in is not a bad idea in my mind. So Kessler is going to be our brand new center. Wanted it to be Chris to change it up a little bit, but Kessler can't be mad at that. So 33 and 21, we upgrade the center at the trade deadline, and now this team is looking really nice. So we got Giddey, Grimes, Buzelis, Caleb Wilson. Now Walker Kessler comes in here, and Braylon Mullins off the bench. We got Sensabaugh off the bench now as well. So yeah, I'm really liking what we have. Hopefully this team continues to thrive with Kessler added to the mix. Sensabaugh as well off the bench. It was a buy now trade as we are the third seed in the East. So hopefully this team has a deep playoff run in their bag, but we'll be in the playoffs for the first time in this video. Should be fun, and I can't wait to see how we can perform when we're there. So Whitney's going to win MVP, which obviously none of that is ever surprising. Depoy again. Zion is your sixth man in Detroit. Collins is your most improved in Houston. And Tatum is your clutch player. Mitch Johnson, coach of the year. And Ryan Trust is your executive. So, wow. Kings GM getting executive of the year is very interesting. But Jokic is going to be hurt, but he's All-NBA first team. Here's your All-NBA second and All-NBA third team and All-Defensive first team and All-Defensive second team. So we've got Kessler coming in here winning All-Defensive second team. So pretty happy with that. But we end up as the fourth seed in the East going up against the Charlotte Hornets. So here were your player stats. So you had 22 from Buzelis, 22 from Caleb Wilson with 9 rebounds, 17 from Josh Giddey, 15 from Mullins, 15 from Dillingham, and 11 and 7 from Ade Mara. So very good stuff all around. But obviously the biggest thing for us is how far can we go in these playoffs, as a young team. So that's going to be interesting to watch and sit back and see. So Charlotte's our first round matchup. Another team that's somewhat young and developing, and they have LaMelo still, Kalkbrenner, Nate Amen off the bench, Brandon Miller, Konkanipple. So going to be a very interesting matchup here. But let's see how it's going to go. So game 1 is going to go to Charlotte by 1 point. And we're down 2-0 just like that. But we do win game 3. Can we win game 4 as well? We do. So I guess, road teams have just, excelled in this series so far. But hopefully we could kind of change that in game 5. Because I would love nothing more to get this young team a playoff series victory under the belt out of the way in this video early on here. And we are going to win game 5 pretty easily. So I love that. Now can we win game 6 as well? Yes, we can. So just like that, we have made it to round 2 already. So already in my mind, this is a very successful season. But now we get to play the Pistons, who actually have the best talented team I've ever seen them put around Cade Cunningham in the 2K sim with MPJ, Zion off the bench, Ron Holland up to an 85. So shout out to the 2K, the GM, I guess, putting together a good team. They don't have Asar Thompson anymore, though, so that's kind of interesting. But should be a matchup that probably goes to Detroit's way, if I had to guess, just because Detroit is kind of OP with Cade Cunningham. But let's see. So game 1 is going to go to Detroit. Beat us by 7. 41 from Caleb Wilson, but it did not matter. Game 2 goes to Detroit. I think we get swept here if I had to guess. Yeah, so Detroit with Cade Cunningham is already really hard in itself. And then they had a good team around them, so that does not shock me in the slightest. Warriors and Pistons is your finals matchup, and the Pistons do go on to win it all. So we did lose to the team that went on to win the championship, so can't even really be mad at that. So all in all, I'm pretty excited, obviously, about the future of this team, and we do not have our first round pick. We pretty much have our rotation set in stone, and Chris Quinn, I think, has been pretty solid for us so far. I do wonder, though, if giving him extension makes sense. I probably won't because, oh my gosh, it would be wild if I fired him based off what he's done for us. I can't do that, right? He's been pretty good. The only thing that's really weird about him is obviously his stars aren't very good, but I'm gonna ride his bus. We're gonna make sure it keeps going because he's got us close to playing last year, got us to the second round this year. We have 4 second rounders, which I just don't even think is necessary. We don't need to draft that many rookies here. So we have 1 left. Okay, that's fine with me. So let's go so we can get late in the second round draft. Probably gonna get nothing that's going to matter at the end of the day, but hey, this guy has an all-star ceiling out of Lithuania, so welcome to the Bulls. And we'll walk away with a 67 overall. But we're going to accept all of these, even though they want us to decline a day Mara. We're not going to do that. Allergies are killing me right now, but I'm powering through it right now. And then Asenge is going to be re-signed as well. So, hold on. Give me a second. Okay, so we're surviving. Let's go to play progression. And then this is going to be the most interesting part to me because there could be a lot of guys jumping up here, or this could be disappointing, but let's find out. So, okay, somewhat disappointing here, but I will say Braylon Mullins is up to an 83, which is good. Caleb Wilson's up to an 87, so can't really be mad at that. Buzelis stops, but 86 overall, can't be too upset with that. Anybody else down here developing? Chris Washington is, but probably won't be playing just yet. But all in all, very excited. Sengay is only up to an 81, but very excited and optimistic about what this team can be. I think Buzelis and Caleb Wilson have done a great job, and we've been a good team so far. So, Braylon Mullins shot 42% from 3 last year, so really love we brought him in to be that spacing shooting guard. But let's get into next season. We barely missed out on the play-in. Then we make it to the second round. So obviously expectations get even higher here. So you know, my goal and my dream would be for us to make the conference finals next year. And I don't know if that's going to be possible or that's going to happen, but I do think there's an outside chance we could. So let's see what the rotation is going to look like. And finally, power rank is actually high on this team. So that's the first time we've seen that. It's always been really low on us. But Dillingham, Braylon Mullins, Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, Walker Kessler, Giddey, Asenge, Sensabaugh, Ademara, and Quentin Grimes. So let's see how we start off with the, you know, first month or so. So let's go to like November 16th. I guess it's half the month or whatever, but off to a really good start. So as you can see, I think we have something well, hold on, we've slowed down a little bit, but win streak's coming back. But yeah, I think we have something special brewing here in Chicago. Although we finished the season or the first half of the month at 9-7, but that's okay. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Expectations are a lot higher this year, so hopefully this team can meet those expectations and maybe we can go on a deep playoff run. So my regular season expectations have been met. We end up as the first seed in the Eastern Conference, so very happy with how it went down, but obviously we're more worried about how we do in the playoffs. So we get an All-NBA representative this year. We finally get one. Caleb Wilson on here, 23-9, so I love to see that. 33% from 3, 55% from the field. So yeah, Caleb Wilson's turning into a bona fide star here. And he also makes all defensive second team. So love to see what Caleb Wilson's becoming here. We are the first in the East, as I mentioned. Detroit, oh my gosh, keep them away from us. Please do not play them in round 1. Oh my lord. All right, here's your player stats though. So yeah, 23 from Caleb Wilson, 21 from Buzelis, 18 from Josh Giddey, 16 from Braylon Mullins, 16 from Rob Dillingham, and 10 from Ademara, 8 and 9 from Kessler. So I'm very excited about what we could potentially do in these playoffs, but obviously what matters is if we just please avoid Detroit. I do not want to play them in round 1, and Detroit is going to lose, so they don't even make the playoffs, so we can avoid them. And the Knicks aren't here either, so those are the two teams that like always worry me when it comes to the Eastern Conference playoffs. So let's see. I just realized I forgot to do expansion today, man. I forget sometimes. I apologize, but it is what it is. It's too late now. So Cleveland Cavaliers, though. They have Nikola Topic as their second best player, and Evan Mobley is their best player, and Ricochet is there as well. As you can see, I have nerfed Ricochet in 2K. Always turns into like an 88 overall for no reason. But is anybody else here just hurt? No. There's no reason we lose to this team. There should not be a reason. This team is just does not look that good on paper. We're gonna go win game 1. We win game 2. No offense to Evan Mobley, was very excited about him, but if he's your best player, that probably is not a good recipe. So we're going to go play the Toronto Raptors, though. Flemings, Caleb Holt. Okay, this is a good-looking Raptors team, so I'm definitely a little more intimidated by this. Caleb Holt was someone we had a chance to draft, and he is playing really well. So will we regret our decision? We're about to find out. And then, yeah, Jakob Poeltl, either he's hurt or he's just regressed that much, I guess. So that contract is not aged great for them, at least in 2K, but let's see what happens. So game 1 is going to go to us, beat them by 5. So that's a good start. 33 from Caleb Holt, but they evened it up on game 2, but we won game 3. So they got a road win. So did we. Can we get another road win? Yes, we can. Can we beat them in 5? Yes, we can. So just like that, we have made it to the conference finals, which is awesome. That was my expectation. But obviously with us playing the 7-seeded Pacers, my expectation is to win this series because it's a good team, though. Why is Buff getting randomly developed to like an 84 overall? That's so interesting. But Sorber's there. Cedric Coward's off the bench. Mahop's there. Zubac, Paul, Halliburton, Siakam, and Laurie Markkinen. So here goes nothing. Game 1. It's going to go to us, though. Beat them by 1 point. That was way too close for comfort, but we won. San Antonio and Sacramento on the other side. What does Sacramento have that they're here right now? Luka. Okay, that makes sense. So other than Luka, though, it's not really looking that crazy. We win both. Okay, so whoops, I meant to someone through game for us, not on their side, but they win game 3 and we win game 4. So we could potentially gentlemen sweep these guys to get to the finals, and we've done just that. And of course, the matchup is the Spurs. Who is surprised? Nobody. But Caleb Wilson, Conference Finals MVP, 27, 10, and 5. Very good efficiency in the Conference Finals. We get to play the Spurs, who have Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox on the bench, Carter Bryant, Wembanyama. So no one here in RJ Barrett off the bench, not to mention either. So no one is shocked by this matchup by any means, but let's see if we can keep our momentum up. We've been really good so far, but obviously playing the Spurs is a totally different beast here. So far though in game 1 on the road, it's looking pretty good for us. Just don't blow a lead here late, and we're trying to, and we might actually blow it, but we do hang on, thankfully, because that was looking kind of scary there for a second. All right, Ademar is going to step in and start on Wemby. I mean, I guess their height, could be similar, so that makes sense. We won game 2 on the road in San Antonio. I'm sim casting every game, by the way. I'm not trusting this sim for us, and we are going to lose game 2. Fair enough. All right, let's go to an aim rotation, and let's do that. Let's bring it out early. So we got a road win like we're supposed to, but obviously they very much could as well. That would not be surprising in the slightest. But so far, we've led most of game 3. We also run away with it here in the third quarter. So we will win game 3 pretty comfortably here, 95 to 143. So this Bulls team we've built is absolutely legit so far. But can we go up 3-1 on this Spurs team is the question. It's looking interesting. They're going to win this one, though. So it's going to be a tied series going to game. Well, hold on. We have a late comeback, maybe. No, it's tied. So game 5, 127-105. Game 5, all things tied up. Let's... Or I guess through game 4, everything's tied up. Giddey gets to start. Bazelis, Mullins, Wilson, Kessler. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty happy with what we have. No one's hurt right now. Have the Spurs picked up any injuries? Nope, not from their starting 5 at least. Okay. On the road to San Antonio, we've already won once on the road. Can we do it again? They have as well, not to mention. But we start off on fire in the first half, which is great. We scored 78 in the first half, and we will win game 5 pretty comfortably. So now we go home. Game 6 with a chance to close the Spurs out in front of these Chicago Bulls fans. They've been fiending for some success here. They haven't had it for a while now. So can we make it happen in this game 6? We have a close one, but I think we may have taken it here, fellas. I think, well, hold on. They're trying to come back late. Just hang on here, and we won a championship. It's actually a little too close for comfort here. It is a 4-point game. It's a 5-point game with a minute 40. 7-point game. So I think we won. But let me make sure we close this out with 56 seconds left. So we're going to get the ball in the inbound, which is good. So I'm going to go ahead and inbound this to Giddey. And yes, I am playing this out. We just got to hit one basket, and this game is probably over. I don't like the 5 we have on the floor right now. Why the hell do we have Kessler and a day? 2K is obsessed with these big lineups. I don't understand why they do this all the time. This is not freaking the 70s anymore. We got an offensive foul. Okay, illegal screen. Can we please get our starting 5 on the floor? Why is 2K obsessed with 3 big men on the floor at times? It's so weird. But all right, let's see if we can go out here and get a stop on this end. So Kessler guarding Wemby, obviously going to be really tough here. But, oh my gosh, I'm there. What a great defensive possession. We're chilling. We just needed one stop, and that was probably it. Let's see. Can I get past Dylan Harper here? Nope. We're going to drain some clock instead. There's no reason to rush here. Almost backcourt on accident, but all right. Let's see. Giddey's got possession. We're going to go to Bazelis here. He's going to try to put this game away. In fact, we're going to go to Caleb Wilson in the corner. Not quite there, but that's going to still end the game no matter what. So we didn't score a single basket or anything, but Wemby's going to shoot a 3. It is going to be off. And just like that, we have brought the Bulls a championship as we beat the Spurs in 6 games to win it all. So that'll be where I end it. Thankfully, we survived this video with the allergy problems I had. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. I'll see you on the next rebuild. Enjoy the celebration if you so choose. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.